What is up, everybody? Welcome to another Tutorial Tuesday. I know it's been a while since I've done my last video. I've actually been pretty busy with client work, so it's a good thing and a bad thing, but it's a good time to be back. It is October. We are coming pretty close to Halloween, so I thought this is the perfect time to show you how to do this cool vampire logo that you see right now on your screen. It's actually a lot easier than it looks. I know it may be a little bit intimidating, but that is why I'm here. So let's just jump right into it. Let's get started. You are going to need one thing before you get started. Go to dafont.com. You're going to download a font that's called Amaze Doom. There's no E after the Z, so it looks like Amaze Doom, but it's, whatever, Amaze Doom. And this is what it looks like right here. It should have 6 files in there. Different styles of the font, but really you only need Amaze Doom right and Amaze Doom left. I'll show you the difference between the two. So that's the real main difference between the two. Just left has the left slant going down and right has the right slant going down. You will need both. So let's get into it. Disclaimer, I do have my window open because it's a little warm in my room. So if you hear any cars and stuff outside, I'm sorry, but yeah. Anyway, so we're gonna write down vampire. We're gonna do capital V, lowercase AMPIR, and then a capital E. Now I have the E facing in the right direction. I want the slant to go downward left, but the V is facing the wrong direction. So I'm going to just select the V, and then I'm going to do Amaze Doom right, so that both the V and the E are facing down and inward. Once I have that done, go ahead and create outlines, right click, and then see this top of the eye, the dot on the eye. Go ahead and go to your direct selection tool, the white arrow up here in your tool panel. Click and drag over that dot, delete it out. Change this to red, and then align the artboard, center. Size it up just a little bit, right about there. Now, I like this font a lot, but it is a very poorly designed font. There's a lot of things like I don't know, deformities, I guess you want to call them, that are like very, very inconsistent. Like all these little points that point outward, they're all different size. See how the point on the V is a lot smaller than the point on the E, and the E has one going out on the bottom, but the V doesn't. All these corners are inconsistent. Even the points on the bottom don't even line up. So it's a really cool font. It's just poorly designed, so we're gonna fix it. So the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get rid of these points here. I don't like them. I think they're terrible. So with the white arrow direct selection tool, I'm gonna click and drag up, make sure I hold shift so it's nice and straight. Select those points and just drag them outward. Do the same thing with the E. And then I'm gonna go ahead and ungroup this. Once you have that done, go to each letter and then go to your Pathfinder. By the way, if you don't have your Pathfinder open, go to Window, click on Pathfinder. If you don't have this open, I would highly suggest you keep this open and include it in your workflow, because the more advanced you get with vector graphics, the more you realize you're going to use that Pathfinder tool a lot. And I use it on a daily basis, so I would recommend keeping it there. I know when I first started, it wasn't a default panel, but I don't know how it is now, but definitely have it out there. Anyway, select your letter, unite, direct selection tool, which is the white arrow. Go ahead and select these and delete it out. The reason I unite it is because if I don't, it's still part of this E. So if I select it and try to delete it, it won't work. See that? So I click the unite, which will cut it off, and then now I could delete it. See that? Next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna fix these corners up here. We'll go ahead and align them up. Make sure align to selection, align to the top. We'll go ahead and delete these because I'm a bit of a perfectionist, so delete those extra anchor points. And then we're gonna add our own corners there. So the two top corners of the A, the top right corner of the P, the top right corner of the R. And you see those little dots that show up? Click and drag inward just a little bit. And then you should have a button up here that says corners. Go ahead and click it. Do the third button. You see how it's squared off? And then that looks good. Next thing we're gonna do is I'm going to bring the crossbar of the E, I'm going to bring it up a little bit. I like high crossbars. I think it looks more aggressive. And I think for vampires, aggressiveness is a good thing. It looks meaner. I'm going to do the same thing with the P, the R, and the A. So I'm just using my direct selection tool and then using the arrows on my keyboard to bring them up. Because like I said, it looks meaner. Boom. Perfect. Now, one more edit we're gonna do. I want the downward angle of the E and the V. I want it to curve, right? So it resembles more of a fang, you know, like a vampire's fang. So what we're gonna do is with the white arrow, we're gonna be using this white arrow quite a bit. This first couple steps. Select the inside corner of the V, hold Shift, and the inside corner of the E. And then those little dots show up again. We're just gonna click and drag all the way till you can't adjust anymore. And now we're gonna do the same thing with the outside corner. Select both, and then just try to match the inside corner. Right there, looks good. Select the V and the E, and I'm just gonna upsize it a little bit, right about there. That looks good. Now, another inconsistency I don't like about this font is the letter spacing in between each letter is super inconsistent. And that's an easy fix though. So with your selection tool, the black arrow this time, click and drag over the whole word, go to align, distribute spacing, and you do the second one, horizontal. Boom. Once you have that done, go ahead and right click and group, or Command G on your keyboard. And then we're gonna make actually before we make a copy, we're gonna make a rectangle. Rectangle from about halfway, cover the whole word, change this to dark red just so we can see what we're doing. And then now we're gonna make a copy, Command C, click out, and then we're gonna do Command F. Now, if you don't know already the difference between Command F and Command V, Command F is paste in place, meaning it'll paste it exactly where you copied it from, no matter where you are on the artboard. So, for an example, I'll show you a blue one. So, I'm gonna copy this, and then I'm gonna go over here, and I'm gonna do Command F, and it's gonna paste it exactly where it's copied from. Boom. As opposed to Command V, it's gonna paste it in the center of your screen, regardless of where you are on the keyboard. See that? Now, you made your copy. We're gonna turn this into a compound path. So it's Command 8 on your keyboard, and then you're gonna select, while keeping the vampire selected, select the rectangle, go to Pathfinder, third button on the top, click it, boom. And we're gonna make this into a gradient. But we're gonna make this from red to red. Nope, I lied, dark red. Picked the wrong red. Now you see right on this one, the opacity is at 0 to To do that, pretty simple. You just select right here on opacity and then mix it to 0. Okay. Adjust the gradient to how you like it. Boom. Exactly what we want. We're in a nice defined line from red, from dark red to light red. Kind of gives it a cool like red chromish look. We're going to add another copy of the word vampire. So Command F. We're going to do another gradient. This time we're going to do white to white. Boom. And we want the white on the top, so that's good. But we're going to adjust it to where it's only a little bit, not a whole lot. Right there. That looks good. Now we're going to do one more copy. So Command F again. Turn this one into a stroke. So either Shift X on your keyboard or hit the arrow. Turn the stroke to red, the bright red. And then we're going to go to stroke. If you don't have this panel open, see those little 2 arrows next to the word stroke? Go ahead and click it until it's open. Do a line stroke to inside. Adjust it to where you like it. Maybe you like 5, maybe you like 3. I think 2 is good. And then once you have that, go ahead and object expand appearance. And that looks pretty good. Once you have that done, black arrow, click and drag, right click, group. And I'm going to stretch out just a little bit. And we're going to add an effect. Go up here to the top, hit effect. We're going to go to warp. We're going to do bulge. And I'm going to do a negative bulge. It should be our starting at 0, but I'm going to do a negative bulge. I'm going to do negative 10, and then distortion vertical, I'm going to go to 5. Perfect. Click OK. I'm going to stretch it out just a little bit more. That looks good. Object, expand appearance. I'll go ahead and hide the background so I can see what we're doing. And then I'm going to make another copy, but this time the way I'm going to make a copy is I'm going to take this layer, hold Alt or Option, and then drag down. Boom. Go ahead and change it all to black. Hit Unite. And then I'm going to give it a stroke of 15. I'll do 16 just because I want to fill in that part of the V. Once I have it there, go to Object, Expand, click OK, hit Unite, and then I'm going to fix these little extra corners that are here. So I'm going to do my pen tool, select the object, pen tool, and then just delete these out. Go to the other one. I'm actually going to do direct selection tool, drag it out, same thing we did earlier with the E and the E and the V. Hit Unite, and then just delete. Now, what I'm going to do here, I'm going to make a copy of the black stroke. Click, hold Alt or Option, drag down, and then I'm just going to hit down a few times on the keyboard. And then, while it's still selected, see how this double arrow shows up? Click and drag inward. But when you drag, make sure you're holding down Option so it does both sides at the same time. Boom. Only do it a little bit, and it gives it a nice, cool 3D look. It gives it some depth, which is what we want. Select the top layer, or the one that's above that one, the 2 black stroke layers. We're going to unite that into one object. And then we're just going to fix all these extra points, all these extra corners. So while it's still selected, go to your pen tool. Start up here at the top. Delete this corner out. Go ahead and delete that too right there. Delete all these little ones. Delete the corner of the E. That little corner. Bottom of the P. Bottom of the M. And we're good. Look at that. Gives it a nice, cool 3D depth, like it's almost extruding out at you. We're going to make a copy now of the black layer. Give it a stroke of 10. Change this to red. Boom. Object, expand. Now you don't have to expand the strokes every time. I like to do it just because it keeps me more organized, and I can do more with the stroke once it is expanded. Okay, so we have the word mark done. We're gonna add the bat. I'm gonna go ahead and go over here to the corner or off to the side, and I'm gonna do the bat over here. So I'm gonna start with the head. Click a point. Make sure you're on your pen tool. Sorry, I kind of forgot to mention that. Pen tool. Click and hold. Holding shift, you're gonna drag out to the right just a little bit. Right about there. Bring it up, off to the right a little bit. Click and drag, give that nice point. Now before you let go, you're gonna hold Option and you're gonna turn that anchor point downward to the right a little bit. Going down further than the first point. Click, hold Shift so it's straight, and then drag down. It's a nice straight line down. Now, again, before you let go, while holding down Shift, hold down Option or Alt if you're on a PC, and then click to the right. Drag it out. About right there is cool. And then that's a nice straight horizontal line. And then we're gonna go up about halfway. No, almost to the, see how it lines up? We're gonna go slightly down a little bit and then make another anchor point right there. Now we're gonna go ahead and delete this anchor right here by holding down Option and then giving it a click. And then we're gonna go out to the side and then do another curve. It's gonna be the wing. Now, before you let go, hold down Option, we're gonna bring it down and give this a point right about there. Click and drag, make your point. Same thing. Hold down Option to move that anchor. Do one more point right about here. Click and drag, give it a nice curve. Before you let go, hold down Option, move that anchor point to the top left or up left, and then we're going to go down to the tail. The tail is going to be a nice sharp, and you should line it up with your very first point, right? Pretty far down. Once you have it, click and drag, give it a nice curve. Boom. And then to get rid of this anchor right here, simply just hold down Option, click, and then finish it off. See that? Got a cool looking bat. Now, we're just gonna make a copy of this. So select it, click and hold down Option, and then hold down Shift at the same time, drag it over to the left. Once you have it there, right click, transform, reflect, done skis, right? I just drag it in, line it up, select both, unite. Now I kind of want the head a little bit higher, so I'm going to do my direct selection tool. I'm going to select all 5 of these points of the head, and I'm just going to hit up on the keyboard a few times. The horns are a little high for me, so I'm going to bring those down. Right about there. That looks good. Okay. So now we're going to align this to center. Go to Align Artboard, center. Bring it in right about there. I'm going to turn it black. And then I'm going to send it to the back. You can either do it here, just click and drag down to the bottom, or you hold down Command Shift and then the left bracket. Boom. Right? I'm going to give this one a stroke, so I'm going to make a copy. Click, hold down Option, drag down, make it a 10, object, expand. Click OK. And then what I want to do is the right or the red outline of the word vampire. I'm going to bring that to the back. Boom. So now it kind of unifies the bat and the word. The word vampire is actually a little too big, so I'm going to go ahead and downsize that a little bit. Right about there. And then I'm actually going to bring up, stretch the bat out a little bit. I don't like how pointy this is right there, so I'm going to redo this. So with the direct selection tool, I'm going to click the left curve, hold down shift, click the right curve, hit up a couple times, and then I'm going to take these anchor points and bring them up. Take that anchor point, bring it up, and then I'm going to redo this anchor point right here. Perfect. And again, I still feel like these horns are a little too high, so I'm going to bring them down. Right. That looks good. Stretch it out just a little bit more. I think that looks good too. So back to the stroke. Give it a 10. Object, expand. Down skis. That looks pretty dope. Now let's add some blood. So you should have your brushes and your symbols panel open. Go to symbols. If it's not open, window, go down to symbols, and then this paint splat right here should be default. We're gonna go ahead and select on it. Go to the paintbrush tool over here. Go off to the side anywhere. Just click. Boom. Go to your selection tool. Object. Expand. Okay. Ungroup. And then just delete this square. Oh, it's already gone. Well, now you have a vector splat. Turn it red. I'm going to bring it all the way to the back. Shift command, left bracket. Take it to the bottom. And then just paste some paint splats. Or blood splats in this case. Go ahead and fill the background a little bit. Change the size while you do it. And then we're gonna add a couple drips. Now, there's a really easy way to do the drip. I'm gonna show you right now. Take your pen tool or line tool, either one. Hold shift and then just drag down. Make it a stroke. Let's do 20. Do the corner, or sorry, not corner, cap. Make it a rounded cap. What you're doing with that, sorry, not what you're doing with that. Before we expand it, we're going to do the width tool. Right here in your toolbox, or your tool panel. A little squiggly line with the anchor through it, or Shift W on your keyboard. See how like a dot shows up wherever your cursor is? You're going to click and drag, and it changes the width of that particular part of the stroke, which I think is pretty cool. So I'm going to go like down towards the bottom, and I'm going to drag it in a little bit, and it makes it look like a drip, you know? Something that's dripping off. Okay, now once you have that done, now expand. We're gonna go to Effect one more time, go to Distort and Transform, and then do Roughen. Go ahead and preview so you can see what you're doing. Do size about 2%, detail, bring it down. Do 1% for detail. Go to Smooth. Boom. Actually, let's adjust that a little bit more. It'd be good to have preview on, huh? There we go. That looks better. And a nice blood drip. Only seems fitting to have a blood drip for a vampire logo, right? And then just keep making copies. Just kind of fill the background. You can change the size if you want to for each one. And then that is it, dude. Look at that logo you just created, dude. You're so good. That's dope. Super dope. Add the background back in. Boom. Damn, that is beautiful. Good job, dude. I hope you guys like this tutorial. Like I said, it's a lot easier than it looks. It looks pretty intimidating, but like I promised, pretty easy. And then these techniques, like, remember these, because these come in handy for, you know, future projects like mascot logos and stuff like that, word marks. I use these type of techniques a lot. So that's it. I hope you guys liked it. Please like and subscribe. I would appreciate that very, very, very much. And I'll see you guys next time. Thanks. Peace.